Are you good to go?
I'm good to go.
Now, you'll let me know if you want a beer or anything, won't you?
Oh, for sure.
All right, cool. All right, off we go. Guys, I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Everyman Chats presented by Wacker. Now, this is a very, you would have seen in the title, of course, already. This is a very, very special episode with a very special guy. In the title, I'm not sure if it'll say this or not, but this is the bloke who actually inspired me to start my YouTube channel, 100%, and has been my biggest influence. But I'll also say you were one of the only fucking guys who ever gave me the time of day, answered my messages back. I thought that was a kid dying in the background then, but they're birds. Sorry, mate. But no, you were the only guy who ever gave me the time of day back in the day. I could actually pull up the first message I ever sent to you asking about cameras and that. You always gave me the time of day, and I appreciate it. I'd like you guys to welcome Alex Garner. Do I introduce you as Intense?
Formerly as, maybe.
Formerly known as the Artist Prince?
Yeah. That's it. No, I'm going to be losing that name in time, and I'm just going to be going under my own name.
Man, there's so much to dig into tonight. I've got a load of questions. Again, don't know if I'll get it in the first episode, but hopefully I can get you near me again to do this. But thanks for giving me your time, man. And it's been a while. It's good to see you. Oh,
it's good to see you. Yeah. And I got to say, I'm glad I responded to that message and gave you the time of day all those years ago. Because it's... I
would have kept trying, mate. Don't worry.
Good. Because, you said a lot of people didn't give you the time of day, and they missed out on an opportunity to know this fella.
The red-faced bandicoot.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, mate. Well, look, I was generally just going to say, how are you? But we've had a really good chat. We were meant to start like an hour ago, but we've been having a chat about the most fascinating subjects, which maybe we'll bring up in another podcast. But this one here is I wanted to do a bit of a catch-up, bit of a powwow. I know a lot of the viewers would really like to know what you've been up to.
Yeah.
And they'll find out for sure in this episode. But I wanted to just first off touch on your brand new video, which I've lucked out with my timing, that you've released last week. Your first video in how long?
990 days.
You're fucking kidding. 3 years. Nearly 3 years.
Yeah, nearly 3 years. It'd be 2.5 years.
Oh, God, that's gone so quick.
And he reckons he's lucked out. And he also reckons, I'm joking when I say I did it just for him, but we've had this podcast booked for longer than I planned to release that video. So.
Oh, really? So when were you planning on releasing it?
Look, when we were going to be doing the podcast.
Oh,
we kind of booked the podcast, and I thought, I'm going to use this as a driver to get this damn video finished, because that video has been sitting in fragments on my hard drive since November 2022.
No. Oh, wow. Okay. And when did you actually finish it?
I actually finished it. I released it on the 5th. We had the Easter weekend. Must have been about March 31st.
Jesus.
I pretty well finished it. I think just before March 31st, I sent it off to Harry Fisher, Andrew Marr, Dougie. I think his last name's Walker, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Dougie and Jake. Handful of people to say, rip this thing to pieces. Don't be afraid to hurt my feelings. So
interesting. Did anyone hurt your feelings?
Not really. They were as harsh as I asked them to be.
Oh, good shit.
Yeah, excellent. Which is what I wanted.
Especially someone like Andrew Marr. Oh, you guys
amazing.
work really well together.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
I could sit there and talk about stories and storytelling and videos and documentaries with Andrew for hours. And I have.
Yeah. You guys remind me, you're very similar to each other, I think, in your personalities and the way you guys operate. I have a lot of respect for that guy as well. He's a fucking champion. But for anyone who hasn't seen your latest series, you will explain... series? Why do I keep saying that, man?
Well, there's
a good reason. Yeah, exactly. I'll explain that in a minute, but you've just done your first piece, which has just come out, like we said, and it's about a missing train carriage. But I want you... Can you explain it to me better than I know that I can explain?
Yeah. Okay, so the tale... It probably makes most sense to tell where the idea came from.
Mm-hmm.
So I quit YouTube July 2021.
Yeah.
We might go into the reasons behind that later on.
Yeah.
But by 2022, I was starting to think, it's left a hole in my life. What am I going to fill it with? And my interests in videos and YouTube had changed a lot. I was watching a fella called Van Neistat, Casey Neistat's brother, Bo Miles. You know him. Probably a lot of people watching this do as well. And I was honestly trying on their shit to see if it sat well with me. I loved what they were doing. Thought I might see myself doing that. And I've got probably 5 videos at home in bits and pieces that are shot, and then I decided this isn't me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I was trying
That's
shit
good.
on.
I like that. I like that sound of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then one day I was writing down just bunches of ideas, and I was just like, where the fuck did those train carriages come from? And I was reading the notes to Bo one day, and he's like, what's this? Where the fuck did they come from? Oh, shit, let's just find out. Oh. And I'm like, yeah, let's see where this goes. Let's just try and find out where these carriages came from and film it, see where it goes. And so it's the story of 2 guys wondering how these train carriages ended up on the beach 100 kilometers from the nearest track, as I say in the video, but it turns out I was wrong. It's actually 50. It's the nearest track. But still, how did they get there? We're going to try and find out.
Wow. And then how long was that journey?
I could have been quicker if I was more dedicated to it. You're probably familiar with this. Once you're on YouTube, you've got your ball rolling. You've got your momentum. Well, I'd been off it and there was no reason to come back. There was no one expecting me to come back. And so I was very slow in doing this thing.
There was a lot of people expecting you to come back.
Hoping.
Hoping. That's
Yes.
Sorry.
Hoping maybe, but not expecting.
You better come back.
So
yeah, that's it. Hoping.
Yeah, so it we shot the first part of it, the initial going up to Seabird to speak to the bloke who might know something in, I think that was October 2022.
Jesus.
And then just excursions from there on. I might,
just feel like you need to get away or something like that.
Yeah, I'd call up Bo and say, hey, I've got a free weekend. Let's go up and find out about these carriages. And then, okay, cool. We'll go to New Norcia next.
Oh, my God.
We went there the next month and found out some stuff. And then there was a few months of pestering them with emails, trying to say, hey, we came, we visited, we want to know. Oh, yeah, they're away, such and such. We'll have to refer you to this guy. It was a few months of that. So it was sort of when I had time. We'd go out, we'd film something, we'd find out the next thing.
Yep.
And then there's the fact that I didn't know what shape this thing was even going to take. I'm like, I've got some footage of this, the first visit to Seabird. I've got some bits and pieces from around New Norcia. I know this little piece of information, but there's not enough there for a story. And it probably really started to come to shape when I sat down at the pub with Andrew Marr and we were talking about what we'd been up to. And I told him about these carriages. And he said, well, maybe the story's not about the carriages. Maybe the story is about how you came upon the journey and what you discovered about yourselves along the journey. I was like,
God, he's brilliant.
He's good, because I'd told him, like, with excitement, I could spend 20 minutes saying, oh, and we went and found out this, but then I went and Googled it, didn't I? And I read this stuff, and I'm like, oh, Andrew, I don't know if I even want to carry on down this thing anymore. And Andrew's like, well, say that.
Yeah.
Like, make it a roller coaster.
Oh, he should be a producer of some sort, hey?
He should be, yeah.
Yeah, he's bloody brilliant. He's been a big inspiration to you, I'm guessing, as well, eh?
Yeah.
Or just a great, what would you call it?
He's so on my level. I'm a calm, low energy person, and Andrew's the same.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
100%.
Calm, low energy, passionate. Yeah.
You've got to admire the fact. So I'm trying to put myself in that position, right? If I had footage, a story that I know that I've wanted to record, you've got to admire the dedication that you guys have had, especially since 2022.
Yeah.
to hold on and go, no, all right, we'll just wait. I mean, do you have a lot of projects that are sitting around like that now that could become episodes?
I have pages and pages of ideas.
Oh, brilliant.
You know, what I'm actually really hoping for is, so it's been a week this Friday since I dropped that video.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to put up a post on YouTube and probably on Instagram as well, and announce that I'm going to do a Q&A about the episode, about where I've been, about that sort of
Brilliant.
thing. But before I answer any of those questions, so let's say I make a post and say I'll do a Q&A next week.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some questions. The following week, I'll put up a video answering the questions. But before I answer any questions, I'm going to have a question to ask of the viewers. Do you have any leads for something that might make a cool story?
Oh,
Like anything.
Fucking oath.
Like, I want someone to come forward that's been following me on Instagram for 5 years and never said anything. I want them to come forward and say, my uncle had a tractor once and I don't know where it went.
Yeah.
But I've heard this guy might.
Oh, nice. You might uncover some shit that you don't want to uncover.
Yeah, well, hopefully not every... As a few people have said, oh, that video got a bit dark there. I hope that your next one's not going to be like that. And I'm like, to be honest,
Really?
so
Did
do
people
I.
say that? I love that. I love that it made me feel something. It's fucking very Bo Milesy.
It's very, very confronting, though.
Yeah, yeah.
see.
You did pretty well your emotion was real, but to leave out some gruesome details that you've let me know as well, and you also let everyone know in the video. But
Yeah.
I think people can paint a picture
Yeah.
a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Hopefully not as detailed of a picture as those court documents
Yeah,
have.
and
Yeah.
they're public.
They're public. Yeah, I'm really surprised that was on Google. Names are redacted. Actual names of
right.
people are redacted for the most part.
Well, how does that happen? How is it redacted? Is it for their safety, obviously?
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck them. Shouldn't be any safety for them.
Well, not only for them, but for the victims as well.
Oh, right, dude.
And you've got to
I didn't
remember,
understand.
you've got to remember as well that these court documents they're accusations. So,
okay, so no one's been charged.
Well, plenty of people have been charged, but a lot of what I read is people giving their testimonies and their experiences in court. And so you can't have someone being accused before. I mean, you can't have someone being abused when they're not guilty, you know?
Yeah, I understand. Innocent until...
innocent until proven guilty. So I think that's why. And they're quite old documents. I think that Royal Commission kicked off in 2014, and I think that's what these documents were dated.
Wow. Is it still ongoing?
It is, yeah.
Is it?
Most of the guts of it are out of the way, but there's still a lot of cases that need to be tied off and payouts to people. And
Oh, really?
yeah, not that money fixes.
Did you ever expect that it would go that way? Discovering that halfway through?
No.
No. How did that happen? Did you just happen upon them, or obviously doing your research you do, don't you?
Yeah, well, I got given the names of these two fellas in Seabird.
Yeah.
So the bloke says he used to drink with them in the pub, Brother Bruno and Father
That's
Justin.
right. Yeah, okay.
And so I've gone home and Googled Father Justin New Nausea.
That's
First
horrible.
thing that comes up, father accused of or found guilty of doing this and recalled to that. And then you search for Brother Bruno and he was abusive, just not in a sexual nature apparently, but he was a very violent man according to all of these documents.
Against kids.
Yeah.
Absolutely
It's touchy
shocking
stuff.
Yeah. Especially being a father now. Do you think that changed your view on it?
There are times when my daughter cries and what I have read, the picture springs up in my mind.
Oh,
she
really?
cries, and the sound of that crying was mentioned in these documents. She cries, and the picture that I've never seen in my life but has been painted from reading these documents springs up.
Wow, man.
It affected me big time.
Wow. And do you know what? I'm so glad you come on today, because you don't get to say this, I guess, in the in this, like what you call it, like a mini documentary?
Yeah, I guess I'm calling it. It's not a documentary, is it? It's a documentary style.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it's called, that style, to be honest.
Okay, what do I refer to it as?
Let's just call it a doco.
A doco, beautiful. But it's like, how do you know where these docos are going to take you? You know, I bet you didn't expect to happen on that stuff, but then you might have thought, you know, oh, it's just train carriages, it's washed up or something like that. But then you realise there's a huge dark past, and I guess you've got to prepare yourself that might happen every time you look into history.
Yeah, it might do. And if it was to come up again, I might have to abandon. It would depend.
Right.
It would depend entirely on the nature of what happened. If it's a minor side mention, I could probably get away with just brushing that to the side, saying, "Look, we're not paying attention to that for this story."
Yeah,
because I can't have every video just being like, "Oh, and by the way, kids were abused."
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah,
of course, because the best of us don't want to think about that shit, you know.
That's
but
right.
it's a fucking reality, which is sad. But if it's part of the story, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that if it paints the picture, you know. But
I also think that people need to be exposed to this, because if you don't talk about it, it's just doomed to repeat. And that's how so many of these kids got abused, is that it is hard and awkward to hear. There was one tale of a kid who ran away. He ran to the police, and the police said, "Now you stop telling lies about the nice Christian men." And they called them down, said, "Come and get this kid." And he was beaten senseless for it. Because I would assume the police don't want to hear it. It's hard to hear. It's hard to deal with. No one wants to face that. It's easier to say, "Oh, the kid's lying."
Yeah. There might be some stuff going around, you know, happening behind closed doors between the two organisations. Who knows?
Yeah, but it's these things need to be talked about too.
Oh, definitely. It's very confronting.
Make it just sit a bit easier.
Oh, you reckon that's possible? How does
it's
that
never going to
sit easy?
Yeah, but it's just the nature of people. You know, we will turn away the truths we don't want to hear.
Oh, fuck.
A lot of the time. But if you're a little bit more used to it and you know that it happens and you talk about it, it just becomes easier.
Yeah. It makes it easier knowing that there might be justice. That might make it easier for me, but it's still never fucking easy, I guess. No. Yeah, and it's hard to make a difference on something like that because you've got your own little family to look after, and you're making sure they are kept safe from that stuff.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
Knowing that it does happen, it makes you a little bit more smart as well out in public.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
that
that's
any
right.
prick can fucking try and grab them or something like that. I'm very on to that shit. Yeah. I'm always overlooking. I'm almost overlooking like a security guard. You know?
And I'll be talking to my daughter about it very, very early on. You know,
that's it, man.
You can't tell them everything early on because they can't comprehend everything.
No.
But you know, that's not going to be something. These things do happen, and it's not going to be brushed under the rug because if the kid doesn't know about it and it starts to happen to them, how do they know what that is?
Fucking spot on.
It hasn't been talked about.
Yep, well said. No, and again, it does have to be talked about. But I'm going to circle back around now and ask you about the shooting of the the shooting of the video.
Yeah, the doco.
We're going darker. Fucking hell. No, like, so I want to know the process behind it because there were a lot of beautiful shots in it. Like one notable shot was Bo dressed as the monk?
Yeah.
Walking along it was just fucking absolutely beautiful. Guys, if you haven't watched it yet, jump on and have a look. It's just... And really try and sit down and appreciate the work that's gone into it and the effort that's gone into it 100%, as you'll hear now. But are these shots that you've planned before taking a trip up there, if you know what I mean? Do you storyboard something like this?
No, I didn't.
Interesting.
There's ideas kicking around in my head. So it was filmed... I'll tell you the order it was filmed in.
Oh, good. So, I'd like to know that.
We go to Seabird, we find the guy watering his lawn. That was the first episode. as well as the intro. But how did these carriages get here? That was filmed, and a lot of the B-roll shots of the carriages, just
beautiful
shots down halls and of Beau exploring rooms. That was all done first.
Yep.
Second was me on the couch with the phone.
With the text popping up.
Yeah, with the text popping
gotcha.
up.
Yep.
And then third, we went to New Norcia. We took the tour. We filmed all around the town. We only went to New Norcia that once. Where do we go from there? Fourth filmed was going to the city, to the State Library.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth filmed was my reaction to what I'd learned.
Yep.
Truth be told, that was not my first reaction.
Wow.
I later sat down and I thought, God, I wish I'd recorded something about how that made me feel. So I went back in there and I found the documents I was reading the first time. And I was they didn't hit the nerve as raw. So I had to go deeper and find some worse stuff.
For fuck's sake.
And so that's how I literally, I'm not an actor, so I read it again. And so that was filmed after going to the library. And then the final piece we filmed was everything of Beau and me at the carriages, talking about the adventure.
Yeah,
and that
beautiful.
was what linked everything together.
Yeah, okay.
And the monk
showing him the photos, is that what you're saying? Yeah, of the carriage.
Everything. I was wearing the same shirt actually.
Yeah, nice.
Everywhere where I'm wearing
real,
this
fucking
continuity,
genuine here.
This is your second part.
This is
right
the
here.
end.
Yeah. So and the monk walking around the dunes, that was filmed then. The time lapse at night with the candles through the carriage.
Was that your doing? Was it? Did you light up the inside of the carriage?
Yeah, we just put about 20 candles down the hallway. And
fuck, it looks so...
Yeah, it was cool.
Okay, and here's one part I want to know. I heard a voice in there, a narrating voice. I usually assume it's either your voice I'm going to hear or Jake's.
Yeah.
Who was this?
Can't recall the fella's name.
And what do you do for this stuff? See, these are the little details I want to know. Do you hire someone for that?
Yeah, I hired someone on Fiverr to read that.
Fiverr, interesting. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So when you say Fiverr, is that something obviously... It's not a Fiverr. It's obvious, you just agree on a price?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know why it's called Fiverr anymore. I'm sure it used to be, you can get anything you want done for $5. But it's not like that.
Now.
Not like that anymore. So, I think that might have cost me $50, which is pretty
man, that's
cheap.
Awesome. Yeah.
I usually, for my commercial work, I usually end up paying a few $100 for a voiceover like that.
And I'm sorry to keep asking you minuscule details, but would he come over and use all your gear, or would he?
No, he used all his own. Because he lives just down the. So the Whitby Monastery that you see in the video.
Yeah.
The guy that read the voiceover, he's like, I actually live just down the road from Whitby Monastery.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow. So and then you have a script for him, obviously, and. Just get him to... Will you just get him to... So I'm sorry, man. I'm going to bog you down here, but how does he know the timing of when to say stuff, or do you just get him to say it in separate lines and then you'll add it in?
I adjusted it to suit his timing.
Oh wow!
Sometimes when I do these things, so for my commercial work, I will pick up a microphone and do a read into a microphone, slap that over the video, and say, "Here's the visuals." See my voiceover for the timing and pacing.
Yeah, gotcha.
Use your own tone this way. Add this sort of energy.
Oh, man. See, that's so fucking fascinating to me. It really is.
But this guy, he was super easy. He does like voiceovers for meditations, like guided meditations.
Beautiful.
And I'm like, man, that calm, guided meditation tone, perfect. Just do that for me.
Can I throw some of that footage into this video?
Yeah.
Would you mind if I just added that bit in? Because it actually made me feel something.
Oh, like beautiful.
You know how much of a sucker I am for slow-mo, but it was just that I know what you were... I feel like maybe I could get a little idea of what you were thinking at the time. Like, golden hour, obviously. Let's get... you got that sou'wester blowing, I'm guessing.
Yep,
blowing
always.
Through the cape and how he's what would you call it? Sorry, the robe.
Yeah.
And how he walks and stuff like that. I looked at that, I was like, fuck, that's so awesome. Made me feel something.
Yeah,
I don't know if it might have made me feel good, like, because I was like, fuck, Alex made this. That's wicked. Like,
Yeah, maybe it did. That was a bit of a turn off point for a few people when I got it reviewed. They're like, because I said, I want you to watch this, and on your first watch, I want you to note every second you feel your attention pull away.
Oh, far out.
And
interesting.
And so, like, I want that first reaction. The very first thing I want you to be focusing on is when you feel like reaching for your phone, when you feel like you want to move your cursor to the close button. I want to know exactly when that is. And then in the final edit, I sort of looked at where everybody had said, oh, I feel the urge to leave here. And I'm like, sweet, I'll try and cut that down. I'll try and add a tighter hook in there. So it's like, don't leave because we're going to show you this.
Oh, my God. And was there similarities between the Brains Trust and
so that
certain sections?
The scene with the monk on the beach,
No!
it really slowed down for that, and that was quite a tough one. I had to leave it in though, of course. I couldn't cut milliseconds off that.
Yeah,
because
gotcha.
it would just completely destroy the vibe of it.
Yeah, and that's so interesting. I wonder. Wow. Okay, maybe not everyone's in the slow-mo. But
everyone's a bit different, hey?
Yeah. What did you think about that bit?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I think it painted the picture of what it used to be.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking.
Do you ever like find yourself having this is completely off track.
No, go ahead.
Do you ever find yourself having a conversation with someone, they ask you something, and you tell them, and you're like, I just said exactly what I said in the fucking video.
Did you actually?
I was just saying, it painted a perfect picture of what Whitby used to be. That's the fucking exact line from the video.
Beautiful.
Because it did.
You are making this genuine as fuck, I'll be honest.
The poem and the slowdown, it had to be slow. This was like a sanctuary and a getaway where the monks used to go to reflect. And
that's why I guess you cannot cut that out.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right. It had
funny.
an important piece in the story.
Fuck, I'm so glad I'm talking to you about it now. But guys, try and maybe pause this and watch it or something. But it'd be nice. It's nice to get you here because of that. You know, to know what your thoughts were on each scene and stuff. It's really fucking good. But a quick side note. Would Bo ever be into acting? How does he enjoy this stuff? Does he love doing videos? Does he love performing? Would you call it performing? Is he comfortable on camera, that type of thing?
He's not too bad on camera.
Because I'm thinking about shooting a port now.
He'd be down to clown.
He seems very artistic like you, man. You know?
Yeah, he is. He really just enjoys the adventure.
Yeah, gotcha.
I think that's what it is.
Just getting away with his best mate type of thing.
Yeah, he's not into jumping behind the camera. He's not into editing. He just enjoys being part of the story. He's really a people person.
Yeah,
and
right.
That's why he was so useful on
Interesting.
that. Because 2 times I had asked someone to speak on the camera, and they'd been guarded or shut down, and Bo he's just got this way with words, way of relating to people, and he just gets them opened up and talking.
Fuck. And he's been with you for a long time, eh?
Yeah.
I remember all your first videos, a lot of your first videos, you've been friends for a long time, eh?
Yeah, we've been friends since I was about 13.
Jeez, man. Yeah, right. And he's always been the same, eh?
Pretty much. Yeah. Everyone's interests change a little over time, but
of course,
all of our interests have always aligned quite similarly.
Yeah. And what do you think that those are?
Well, Bo's interests.
Creativity that you both align on. Adventuring.
It's really hard. It's just chemistry, I think.
Yeah. Because I have noticed that, man. I've noticed that with both of those brothers. With you guys, you three are all very tight like that. They've always been down to do
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, how everyone gels in like that.
Yeah.
They're both covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
And you're quite straight edge as far as that goes.
Yeah, that's right. I think
get
it
pretty
comes
wild
down
when you're pissed though, don't you?
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
Bit of mulled wine.
Yeah, that's it. God, drank a good couple of litres of that out in the goldfields once.
Yeah, I remember watching you. I remember seeing you make it. I think you put some pictures up or something like that. But
that's right.
Yeah, I remember seeing another night when you were on the old cocktails with your igloo container and broke inlet.
Oh, that was wild.
That was a fucking good night.
Oh, you blokes just I remember the next day trying to find somewhere else to go, somewhere else to camp, and then, I don't know, some dickheads got to let down the tyres on their boat trailer, and every other prick's got out and gone to grab a beer, and you're all out there having a great time, and all of a sudden someone letting down one tyre turns into a 40-minute stop, and you're all out there having a laugh, and I'm just asleep in the driver's seat.
I do remember on the way out, eh?
Yeah.
It's like fucking nursing a hangover.
That's it. Yeah, I was just like, nah, you guys have fun.
Yeah.
I just had a 40-minute kip in the driver's seat here.
Quick power nap. Oh, fucking mint, mate. Yeah, but so when you say that Bo's like a people person, I've noticed that it sort of puts a few pieces together, because you mentioned to me what he does as well for, in his life. It's fucking pretty noble.
Yeah.
I'd say noble.
He's taken a lot of twists and turns in his career.
Yeah, okay.
See if I can cast myself back. He was at Kmart when he was about 16, and he did some sort of marine conservation, studied that for a bit. He's done sound desk stuff. God, what do you call that? Like sound engineering. That's the one.
Wow.
Sound engineer. He's right into music.
Yeah.
Plays guitar and bass.
Got ya.
Yeah, he's worked in metallurgy.
What's metallurgy?
So soil sample testing mostly.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Interesting. He has had a journey.
He has had a journey, and now he's studying psychology at uni.
Far out.
Yeah. Studying psychology at uni, works for Mission Australia, helping teenagers that have homeless or come from bad homes, have drug problems, all that sort of thing.
Jeez.
And
I look forward to having a beer with him one day, eh?
Yeah,
like meeting all you lads like properly together. I look forward to that, eh?
yeah, it'd be wild.
Yeah. Naked fucking naked what do you call it? What do you call the moped?
Oh yeah,
naked moped riding.
Naked moped riding, yeah.
Oh shit, man! No, absolutely awesome. But so I've said that. So this role, I always say that this rolls on nicely. No, so this fits in nice with the next subject. So you filming again, right? What made you want to pick up the camera, start being creative again? If Shez was here, she'd mention fucking star signs like a weirdo. But picking up the camera again, have you enjoyed it? Have you not enjoyed it? Are there certain aspects that you don't enjoy? Because I want to sort of start veering towards, the YouTube thing and all that bullshit. But how do you feel picking back up the camera? Like, well, I guess you never put it down realistically.
Yeah.
But maybe for you, undertaking a big project like this.
To be honest, it's not the camera. It is the story. It is all about the story. Mm-hmm. So the camera has been a very challenging tool to tell the story. Podcast, a lot easier.
Yeah.
And the editing. So using the editing to tell the story.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So would editing be one of your favourite parts of the process? What's your favourite part of all the whole creativity process?
Editing.
Is it really?
Yeah. But I don't want to edit other people's shit.
Yeah,
I don't want to sit there and edit your commercial video or your wedding or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm not interested. I just, what you can do in an edit, and how it can, I get like a beat come over me. There's a beat to everything. Even if there's no music or the music's just a tone in the background, I'm almost sitting there and cut there. And then you're watching like someone's reaction and you're just trying to find that perfect spot. It's like, cut it off too quick, doesn't feel natural. Nah, that lingered a little bit. So I'm almost sitting there with a beat, and I just love it.
Jesus.
And then like the timeline's almost like a wave. Like I like to take people on a bit of a wave, a roller coaster. You'll see that in my I Quit YouTube video. Which was you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down.
Yeah, spot on.
It's almost like you're sitting there conducting an orchestra, hey?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Fuck. I mean, it shines bright that you're meant for this type of thing. Do you know what I mean? Do you realise that at all? That, you might have a little bit of a gift with this type of stuff, or you have a good eye or something like that? A lot of people would tell you that. But how do you think about yourself with that? Do you think you're good at this?
I think I can pick up anything very easily. And I think most people can. I think a lot of people will doubt themselves. What I'll often say is like working on cars. People say, how do you fix your own car? Well, pick up the manual and it tells you what bolts to take out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can pick that up pretty easily, and as long as you have a bit of confidence and you're willing to put in the time. But I think most of it is just pure raw passion and interest, like being truly engaged in what you're doing. I'm a bit lost for the word for how I want to describe it, but passion's probably the closest. Like, you have to be constantly curious and interested to drive through to the end. Anything beyond that can be learned.
Nice. So I guess, well, would full driving have a lot to do with that? Because it's like exploring. There's new shit to shoot, always new stuff. You're not shooting the same shit repetitively, or... Yeah,
you see, four-wheel driving started to feel like that to me at the end there.
Interesting. I wanted to ask you that.
I was doing the same shit over and over, and I wasn't telling good enough stories. And there was a divide between what I was doing and what I wanted to do, and what was successful and what I wanted to do. So I got very lost at the end there. I wanted to tell really good stories, but I have a four-wheel driving channel, and
People don't like when you try to pivot.
Yeah.
They don't stick around, I guess, eh?
Yeah, that's right. And it's evident in my new video, but I fully expected it. It is a wild pivot.
Yeah, but the engagement's incredible. Like, people are just happy to see, like, so happy to see you again.
On a comment level, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the channel's been dead for 990 days prior, so you can expect that numbers wouldn't be so high.
Are they higher than what you expected, though?
Yeah,
what did you expect?
I had loosely said I would be pretty stoked if I got 4,000 views in a week.
Yeah.
We're 5 days in and it's about 1,800, I think.
Okay, gotcha.
So I can't see it hitting that 4,000, but I have said the whole time my only drive for this was to follow a story to the end and make this video the absolute best I can make it. Time being no limit.
And are you proud of it?
Yeah.
I'm fucking excellent.
Most proud
work you've done.
Any work I've done, yeah.
Really? So, I may as well skip to this question now. Where are you going? What's next? Like, where are you going for YouTube? Because there's a few other avenues that I want to explore. But where do you love this style so much that you might not go back to the full driving or camping or overlanding? I
will not go back to the four-wheel driving, camping and overlanding.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So what can we expect, you think?
I would say 1 to 2 of these types of videos a year.
Yep.
At this point. This is just what I'm interested in following right now. Yeah. Not for money. Not for massive views. I don't entirely know why. I think mostly to grow my own storytelling. Mm-hmm. And to open up avenues as well, because all of the commercial work I've done, so when I quit YouTube in 2021, in the 990 days I was away, and all the brainstorming and journaling I did, and still trying to figure out why I quit YouTube and what's really going on up here, and what I really want from life, I realized that since my whole time, every commercial client I had got had been through intense. And so since I'd killed it, I wasn't putting myself out there anymore. I wasn't getting out there. I wasn't meeting new people. I wasn't opening new doors. And I've just started to stagnate. So really my drive is to open myself up to new experiences and new people and new opportunities.
Oh, wow. But in a different niche?
In a different niche.
Yeah, out of that full drive bubble or camping bubble.
Yeah.
So what about camping? Do you still enjoy all that?
I do still enjoy camping.
If it's part of something else.
No, even just...
or just self-enjoyment.
Just getting out with mates. I don't get a whole lot of time to do it.
Fatherhood, we'll get around to that.
Yeah, that's it. I get out 2 or 3 times a year, it seems.
Yeah, gotcha.
I went out 3 or 4 weeks ago, and that was the first time since August last year, I think.
Fuck.
Yeah. Which was a big trip. I was away for 3 weeks.
Oh, really?
In August, yeah.
Fuck, where'd you go?
So I went and got married out at Malangata Station.
I swear to God, I did notice the band on your finger. I'm like, fucking, what's going on here? Is this something you don't want to fucking... that you just did quietly?
Yeah, I went and got gay married, so... So I wasn't sure how accepting people would be.
Oh, of course they would be, mate.
Nah, nothing wrong with getting gay married, of course. But no, I went and got married to Rhiannon, my wife.
Mate.
Malangata Station, east of Geraldton.
I didn't freaking know about this.
Yeah, I thought I told you.
No, I'm pretty sure you didn't. You asshole.
Yeah, well, there you go.
No.
You found out.
Congratulations,
the same time as everyone
man.
else.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Kombucha cheers.
Kombucha. Yeah, so I got married up there and then sort of took a honeymoon.
Land?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. And then took a honeymoon from there. So 3 weeks off in total. Sort of long weekend. We spent 4 days at Joe's place and then went like Shark Bay, kind of up the coast a bit. Got as far as Exmouth.
Yep.
Didn't stay in Exmouth. Stayed at, I think it's called Ballara Station.
Yeah.
Just a bit south of there.
Yeah, I'm actually want to head there this year. What's it like?
It is quite commercialised and touristy, but nice.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Busy?
It was pretty busy.
Yeah.
It's a really nice experience.
As far as like bands go and the station feel.
Yeah, but you see a lot more caravanners getting around in crisp white linen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crisp white linen.
It's like upmarket camping.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful
place.
place.
A lot of Akubras?
Don't think there was too many
Shit,
really?
Yeah. Far out, man. So, wait, you got married on the station. Who married? Like, did you get a celebrant in? And
yeah, we got a celebrant
family and stuff like that?
Got a celebrant in from Geraldton. I think we invited about 24 people, so it was quite a small
Beautiful.
wedding.
Yeah.
Few couldn't come, so we ended up with around 20, I think.
Shit, man.
Yeah, I was so good.
I can't believe that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fuck's sake, Alex. Really did it on the download, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Did you write your own vows?
I did. It's funny, I had to go and sit up in the bush and do that.
Really?
It was, yeah.
What do you mean? Did you write it the night before?
No, it was probably a couple of weeks before, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's like Rhiannon had started and been picking away at hers for a while, and my head's always just pinging, buzzing with all these different things going on, and I write a lot of scripts for work, and then it's very hard to change the tone. You know, it's like when I'm writing a script.
Your speech sounded like a super cheap.
It does. I'm sitting there. I have to get out of here because they've got a guy that does most of the voiceovers for Super Cheap. His name's Todd. Yeah. So when I'm writing Super Cheap scripts,
we can hear.
I've got him saying, "So
getting married this weekend, are you?
Check out our online store." So I have to go up in the bush and just sit with a piece of paper and nut this thing out.
And is that what you did?
That's what I did. Sat there for a day. I'm not going home till I finish this thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you happy with it?
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
I managed to sneak in this line that drives Rhiannon nuts. So,
really?
Yeah.
Don't care to divulge that, do you? So I can say it next time I see it.
Yeah. Well, the line is, someone once told me this fact, which I don't think is entirely true.
Yeah.
Whenever I see a piece of quartz, hey, did you know that when you see quartz, you might find gold, but there's not always gold where there's quartz? It's so weird. And it's just like, it's one of those things I'll annoy her till the day one of us kicks the bucket. It's just, oh, look, quartz. Look, did you know you might find gold there, but not always.
Not quartz where gold is. Oh.
Yeah, so I snuck that in there. I was like, I promise to remind you where there's quartz, you might find gold.
What does she do? What's her reaction?
Yeah, she thought that was hilarious.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. She would have loved it then.
It's gone from being annoyed, like, it started off as a joke. She's like, yeah, you've told me that like 2 times. No, I haven't. I'm sure I haven't told you that. You know?
It's the first time. I'm telling you.
I say it's the first time. And then just turned into a joke. I will just tell you every time I see some quartz.
All right, man. Let's talk about let's talk about fatherhood. So you got a beautiful daughter now. I won't say a name unless I'll let you say if you want to. Privacy, I understand that, but how has it been, man? So obviously not everyone would know that you've actually had a kid.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's been 300
Yeah, I have aunties and uncles that I've showed up to a
Have you really?
gig and gone, I didn't know you had a kid. I didn't know you had a girlfriend.
Really, dude?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could see those fucking reactions.
It's a good laugh. But yeah, so I keep very private on social media.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll divulge her name, Zoe.
Yeah, beautiful name. Yeah.
She was born in June 2022. Yeah, and it has been a brilliant ride.
Challenging?
Yeah, everyone will say it's challenging.
Yeah.
But I've handled it very well, I think.
I think you have too, yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of blokes that have had a much, much harder time than I have with parenthood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. What's the biggest thing you've learnt about being a dad? Have you changed as a bloke?
There's been a few things I don't think I've changed as a bloke too much, really. I think the thing that changed me most as a bloke was hitting my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And I seem to find it true with a lot of guys that go through just this. You hit 30 and all of a sudden you're trying to find meaning in life and
It's powerful.
the knowledge of who you are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I thought I knew who I was when I was 22. I thought I knew when I was 26. But then just down to the way you react to things and what's behind that and why I think certain ways. That started when I was around about 30.
Fuck. I find at the point I'm at now, I think a lot about, like, I don't know, I feel like there's like a timer. It's like I feel pressure to try and get shit, like not get shit done, but more like a, you know, your life's passing you by. Do you know what I mean? Get the most out of it, that type of thing. And thinking about my own mortality.
Yeah.
You know, fuck, I hate the amount that I think about that.
Yeah. I think it could just be a phase in life, hey?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's midlife, isn't it?
I don't think I've quite hit that part yet. I do think about it from time to time. Like, am I doing the best thing with my life right now?
Yeah.
Am I building enough? Am I making enough of a legacy? Am I making enough money?
Fucking dad questions. They're every dad's questions, aren't they? But what do you think your family wants from you, man? Do you think they want money? What do you think they want? Time.
Yeah, and I give a lot of time.
Yeah.
I've recently gone through. I think having a kid has changed my career drive a lot, and my drive to make money. Like, I've never been too driven about it, but now I don't really care as long as I can manage it well. I like what I do for my work.
Yeah.
Commercial, automotive videos, photography. What I'd really like to do is more along the lines of what I've done with this video we've just talked about.
Yeah.
But that takes a lot of unpaid time, which has to come from family time. It can't come from paid time because that's needed to pay the bills.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to grow in that direction, I have to do paid work, and I would have to sink unpaid time into trying to push into the direction of this video I've just made. And with my daughter, the age she is, coming up on 2, I take Thursdays off to look after her. So I probably work 4 days.
I love that though. I love that, man. Not many people could do that. You know?
Yeah, and I get pretty shitty with my work sometimes, but I have to realize not many people can do that. I probably work 4 days a week. On average, you know, some days I'll work every day of the week to keep on top of things.
Of course.
But I take my daughter to swimming lessons on Thursdays. I spend a lot of Saturdays with her as well.
Yeah.
And I work mostly from home, so I'm there to see like every precious second.
That's it.
First steps and everything.
Fuck.
And that's the most important thing at the moment. So I think having a kid has taught me that kind of the flip side to what you were just saying, really, about mortality and life's passing you by, is that she's only going to be, look, once she's 5 or 6, she's off to school. I can go and grow my career and push in another direction when she goes to school. I've got 5 years to spare.
Oh,
I can spend 5 years with my daughter.
Yeah, that's it.
Just keep ticking along, just making the videos that make the money, and everything else in its own time.
Yeah, I fucking love that. I reckon perspective's got a lot to do with it, eh? It's like sometimes I'll, you know, I'll complain. I'll like say, "Fuck, I wish I could just have more time or whatever." But I'm thinking the same as you. I catch myself thinking negatively like that, but then I also don't realize how fucking good I have it. Like I can start as early as I want most times. I can finish early, come home, enjoy a couple of hours with them, come and edit. I love editing. I'm like you. I enjoy the editing. Yeah. It's like I think about nothing else when I sit here on there. I just love that.
Yeah.
I cannot put a fucking story together like you, but I just like the putting together a piece of work. I love that and turning that over.
Yeah, it's so good. And cutting out all the pieces that, I can't put that on there. Like it might be your mate just doing a streak through the background or
should I try and get that in there? Should I try and slip it in and see if anyone notices an Easter egg?
Yeah. Or someone saying something completely inappropriate, like that is not politically correct. That has to be cut. But quick, Snapchat that off to the boys and say, "Hey, look what such and such said. Remember this on the trip?"
I got some nuggets too, eh?
Yeah.
I got nuggets of that type of shit, 100%. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's talking about like the YouTube machine. It's like a fucking machine. You feel like you have to turn it over, and now it's so incredibly saturated, like even more so.
Yeah.
But I asked you, but I didn't get a proper answer. Like before, I said, I want to hear it on the podcast, but to come back onto YouTube. How would you? What have you learnt in the time that you've been away? Was it more? Fuck YouTube. I've realised what's important. My family and like you say, spending time with my daughter. I've got 5 years. What did you learn through that whole thing, and how have you prepared yourself for the return in inverted commas?
Yeah, I had to. It was a pretty emotional last video I did when I quit Intense.
Definitely.
I got all teared up. I didn't expect that to happen, by the way. Like
wow.
I'd gone over all this shit so many times in my head. I thought it would just come straight out, but it was the first time I'd said those words out loud on camera.
No more bullshit. Is that what it is?
No more bullshit. And the thing about the social media turning me into a monster and that it was affecting my relationship with some of my closest friends. And it was the first time those words had ever come off my tongue, and it just choked me up. I did not expect that.
Fuck.
I'd thought it plenty of times. I'd journaled about it, but that was on that video. It was the first time those words had come out of my mouth. It's funny how that hits different, just saying something out loud sometimes.
And knowing that it's gonna other people will hear it.
Yeah. So I had to look a lot at what was behind all of that. I had to dig deep into some of the uglier emotions that people don't like to talk about, that are often shrouded in judgment, jealousy, envy. Did I feel jealous? Did I feel envy? Was I jealous of what other people were doing, what other people were achieving? Why was that? And having to look behind the curtain of that.
And it's confronting.
Yeah, really confronting why I thought certain ways. I could be on Instagram and I would flick through and I would see that somebody was doing something with someone, and it was that bad that I would see these two people doing something that made me feel left out, triggered. I would have to close Instagram. I would delete the app off my phone. I would be in a hole for a whole fucking day.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
I had to sort of dissociate myself from. So much was bound up in what I wanted for Intense. I was just into 4-wheel drives since I was like 12 years old. I think Dad used to buy 4-wheel drive monthly magazine as it was back then, before it was 4-wheel drive action and before it was 4-wheel drive 24/7. I used to read this magazine back to back every day for every month for like 10 years. And I just wanted to be like a journo. I wanted to do photography. I just wanted to go out and do 4-wheel drive journo stuff, work for the magazine. It's all I wanted. Fuck. And it was really hard to sort of break that apart from myself to realize that's actually not what I wanted anymore.
Shit.
So I was so tied to it because it's all I'd known, right? About myself. It's all I thought I was. And I had to realize, like, I don't like what the 4-wheel drive scene is anymore. I don't like what a lot of YouTubers are doing to the scene. And I still love my 4-wheel driving and camping, but you have to associate with these people, you know? Like...
Fuck, man, that's well said.
Yeah, you have to
that
play
you might
nice.
not respect?
Yeah, you go to these 4-wheel drive shows and you have to stand up on a stage next to someone who, in my opinion, is wrecking it for all of us. And like...
Oh...
And play nice. And there's something else
I have these thoughts too. Yeah. I absolutely do have these thoughts. But I'm very good at blocking... Not blocking, but I'm very good at just staying... like I said to you before, I've got my own bubble. I literally got myself, my work, my family and friends, and the girls. That's it.
Yeah.
That's fucking it. And you got to try and keep it to that. But I'm not in it to the extent that you were as far as 4-wheel drive shows. Can't do it. I cannot do that, man.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit for the reason that you...
Yeah. Those... I really
love
loved
your morals, Alex.
I loved meeting the people.
Yeah.
Meeting all the people that watch the channel. And I had some great conversations. So I'll have to put that aside from what I'm about to say, is that those shows, going to those shows, were kind of the downfall of me.
Gotcha.
Like, it just exposed so much ugly stuff about how I saw the industry, how I saw certain other people, and how I saw myself.
How on they are type of thing. Like,
yeah.
Looks like a bit of a fucking act. And
yeah,
I absolutely have them feelings.
And people that I had smaller numbers, so they literally would not talk to me.
Oh.
And like, just didn't have the time. Felt like I was in high school again, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
And then so since I quit, it was trying to look at that and realize, okay, 4-wheel drive journalist was a young man's dream, but dreams change.
Yeah, of course.
I learned a few flaws about myself, that I will say something. I learned that there's like integrity in saying you're going to do something and showing up and doing it. That's well and good to say, but it's unhealthy to latch onto that. Are you still angry
at the burger comp, are you? You're still angry at me for not coming that night?
Fucking wanker. Smashed my dreams.
You still judge me.
Well, is it?
You still gave me a score.
I put you down as the winner, didn't I?
That would have hurt, Harry.
Is it coincidence, though, that weekend we were supposed to film the Smash Burger comp between you and Harry? You didn't show up. I filmed an I Quit YouTube video the same day.
Was it that day?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, I'm like, Pete didn't show up. This has fucked my hopes and dreams.
Oh, fuck you. Don't you put that on me, you arsehole. No, but sorry, man. I interrupted you at the worst time there. Just get used to it.
Yeah, so... so I was saying about... Saying you're going to show up, and this is what I stand for. I'm going to show up, this is what I stand for, this is who I am. Is, at face value, good to stand up for. It's a good thing to say about yourself. But I stuck to things that I said and believed so rigidly that I was not open to change.
What might that change be, though? What is that change? Have you experienced that change? Is that moving away from the 4-wheel drive scene? Is that what you mean, the change?
Yeah, and it could be anything really, really simple. So I believe this, and so I will not believe anything else. I believe this is who I am, this is who I am.
Interesting. Okay, I see.
Yeah, so I have to allow myself to change.
Okay.
I believe that it's okay for me to say, I believed that 5 years ago, but I've changed, the world changed, everything changes. I no longer believe that.
Shit.
And I'm no longer going to show up for that. And I had a lot of time, a lot of struggle letting go of that, you know. I'm a very rigid person.
Yeah. You'll stick, you'll stay to it no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's a big moment for you to actually go, oh man, I don't want this. And a lot of thinking, I guess.
Yeah.
In the background.
And I'll just stick to something like, I hate that person because they did this.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And 5 years later, I'm still clinging to it. I said I hate them then. I hate them now because maybe that energy, that hatred energy, will ruin their life. It's
Fuck, I have been like that too.
Yeah.
Damn it. No, I have.
Yeah. Well, I think we all are.
Like, judge someone. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I absolutely have. And then I've met them and they've ended up being a really fucking nice person.
Yeah. And I've learned that I am a very controlling person. I like everything to go my way. I want people to behave the way I expect them to behave. And
in a video sense.
In every sense.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Look, probably having a kid has made me realize on a small scale how that manifests. So I put dinner in front of you, kid. I expect you to use your spoon to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's grabbed a handful of it and flung it across the room. And I'm getting pissed off because that's not the fucking way dinner goes. You use your spoon.
Yeah. No, yeah, okay, I understand.
And then, yeah.
What is it, teaching yourself to let go of little things?
Let go of expectations.
Worry about the big shit.
So, yeah, that's it.
Interesting.
And let go of certain expectations. And you can't control what other people are going to do and what other people are going to say. And
no, and half the struggle is teaching yourself that even in that situation with kids, it's like they don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And fuck, I've gotten angry at my kids for sometimes the littlest things, and I hate myself for it afterwards.
It's the dirtiest
and it
feeling.
makes you a little bit more angry, and you get yourself in this little ball.
Yeah.
And then you just need to go and calm down. And I reckon having kids for me has been one of the most humbling experiences as far as handling shit a little bit better. Like swallowing any fucking pride you've got and learning to apologise, and say, fuck, I'm sorry. Like, I stuffed up there. But it brings you closer, 100%.
Yeah.
But, it's a horrible little way that where you get you get pissed off at them and then you keep going. You're like, oh, nah.
Yeah.
And you feel like a scumbag.
Yeah.
You do.
Anger is the biggest challenge I think I've had. Do you remember young man anger in your early 20s? You're just tense and full of rage.
Fuck, I know my old man used to say, like at that age that you feel like it's you against the world. Like the whole fucking world's against you. But no, I don't think I felt that at that age.
I did.
Yeah.
And a few of my mates did. So 18 to probably mid-20s. Just rage, ready to snap at all sorts of things. Something winds you up, you want to punch a door.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I thought that was long gone, and I'd got over that until I had a kid. And that rage is back.
Yeah. But this sounds bad. Do you think that's like a bad thing, or is that part of your journey as far as, teaching yourself about yourself? Like you say at this point of your life, how you said that, you're trying to become self-realizing. Is that even a word? But
I hate it. It's the worst feeling in the world for me, that rage. Like, it is white hot, like a flush over my eyelids where I'm blinded by this feeling that's everywhere, like through the body, like a rush of adrenaline.
And you're saying something like that can trigger it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter triggers it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Frequently. I've never punched a door. I've never lashed out at her.
But you just need to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I think one time I flipped her bowl off the table.
Yeah.
Or I have picked up something next to me and tossed it at a wall in anger.
Okay, yeah, I've done that 100%.
Not something that will smash, but she has seen the violence behind it, the anger behind it, and burst out crying.
Yeah, of course.
And
Funny how they pick that up so quick, eh? It's like a primal thing.
She'll go from winding me up to dead straight face, just staring at me like, what is wrong with you? And then start crying.
Oh, it makes you feel like the biggest monster, right?
I think it's happened. I've actually physically shown that probably 3 times with her and had that reaction, and I feel absolutely dirty every time.
Yeah.
But I've only shown it 3 times, I say, but I feel it like multiple times a week. just flush through me, and I just have to just close my eyes and try and hold it in, you know? It's so hard because it's just there and it wants to come out now.
And that process, what is that, like meditation? Is that what you're saying?
It has to happen on a much shorter scale because it's like a 10-second thing. And I don't know what the answer is. I've searched. I'm yet to find that one.
Interesting, man.
I think it maybe takes a mantra. It takes a timer, something to say, I will allow myself to react after 10 seconds. Because if my reaction happens there on the spot, it ends up with me flipping a bowl of food and my daughter crying. And that's probably a pretty good outcome, really, compared to kids that get hit.
Oh, absolutely. I was just going to bring that up. There'd be a lot of dads who would feel that.
Yeah.
100%, man. And I think if there's a dad who hasn't felt that, I don't know if I'd call bullshit on it or I'd be amazed. But fuck, man.
Yeah.
It's testing. It's so testing. But then what about, you know, I notice my daughter when she does get me riled up like that, she can flip it around in 2 seconds. Like just a smile or something might help me out every now and then. But there'll be times where I can't. I need to actually just leave the room and just like, fuck.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm not even angry at her.
Yeah.
Fucking angry at my reaction. You know, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
It's the shit that every man goes through, I think.
Yeah, shit. You got to talk about it, hey? Like, I didn't know so many other guys felt this. I thought this was just young man anger that I'd left behind and it'd come back to haunt me. But
have you spoken to other dads about this?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, and they all feel it.
And they all feel it.
Yeah, and it is. So what about Rhiannon? How does she help you? Does she know, like, how you're feeling? Like, do you communicate that to her? And
I do, yeah.
Yeah, you're good at that.
I've talked to her about the white hot rage that I want to punch a door. And,
yeah.
But a lot of this happens when Rhiannon's not there, when Zoe's solely in my care and she's been pushing my buttons. So I just have to, deal with it. If Rhiannon's there, she can I can walk out of the room and Zoe's fine. But
yeah, you have to deal with it there and then if Rhiannon's not there.
With a kid that age, you can't just walk out of the room.
No, you can't.
So I will walk out of the room, get some headphones, put headphones on, and crank up some music so I can't hear a sound she's making and just watch her.
Yeah.
If it gets that bad.
Yeah, fuck.
Music helps a lot.
Yeah, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Does Rhiannon ever feel like that?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does that bring you comfort?
It does.
Does it?
I don't think that women feel it the same as men.
No.
Not in that same... It's a very masculine, white hot rage reaction.
Primal, fucking. Oh, it's funny that because I feel like I've had arguments with Shez like saying, "How do you not feel like how do you not feel that anger like I do?" She's just like, I don't know. She goes, I don't know. I don't know.
It's very different.
It is. It's very fucking different.
I got so pissed off one day that I went out the back, I grabbed an axe, and just took down the nearest palm tree. Palm tree.
Yeah. Oh, man, I bet there's so many fucking people who've been through that.
Yeah.
I betcha. Fuck. So when you started feeling like that has it improved?
I think it is improving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's a hard age too, man, when you sort of can't communicate. Like, I must admit, the age I'm at now with Violet, I can talk to her, you know, and I think it gets better like that for sure.
I listened to something once that talked about the process behind controlling anger and how it's like a pathway. This triggers me. I react like this. It's a fully formed pathway in your mind. It's the easiest path to take. You've trodden it many times. It's like a literal track worn through your head. And then the hard part is that you need to change that reaction. This happens. I sit calmly. I count to 5. I open my eyes. It's very, very hard to do because your head wants to take that track.
Yeah.
But
shit's boiling up in your head, you know.
Yeah. But if you do that often enough, it will create a new track. The old track, I do this happens, emotional reaction, the track will grow over And this new track that you've been creating, just count to 5, close your eyes. It will be the one that you can take instinctively every time. I haven't managed to do it yet, but I think I might be starting to feel some glimpse of myself heading that way.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, beauty. Has it worked sometimes?
It has worked sometimes.
Good shit. Excellent.
But
That's
it's just fighting that reaction to punch something and trying to turn myself into, okay, stop, just count.
Yeah.
Just count.
Sounds good in theory, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds good in theory, but it's such a...
It's a journey.
Smash a door is so instinctive. It's such a just impulse.
Would you feel better if you did smash a door? Like,
God,
did you
no,
feel
I'd have
better
to pay
after
for a
the
new
act?
door.
You're a home improvement man now. No, but you know when you cut down the tree, did that help?
Oh, that helped. Yeah.
Did it really? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, my fucking yard's a desert now.
But that's how the fence started. No, I was thinking more like punching a door. I'd feel like it because that's a, what would you call it? Like a sign of like domestic violence or something like that. You know, whereas cutting down a tree, that's fuck all. It's like, okay, cool.
That's right.
I'm just going to do some firewood now. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah. The problem I find is that the release feels like it needs to be instant. It's like going to the gym 4 hours from now isn't going to help me with this fucking shit that's going on in front of me. I'm so pissed off. Like, and that's what has to be controlled
within that first 5 seconds. Like almost the first instant. You need like when if they've spilt something on you and you're fucking pissed off, you're like, and then you need to sort of go, nah, all good, chill. I think I've definitely gotten better at that. Like, fuck, man, it's like, because it's such a change to your life as well, before kids and then you have your first kid. Violet has taught me so much as far as patience goes. Yeah. But I didn't have the patience in the first year or two where I can sit back now and I'm like, oh, fuck, who cares? All good. I'm definitely, now that I think back, I think I've gotten better, but it doesn't stop me from, loud noises fuck me, like loud screaming and crying. That I need to sort of go, oh.
When she puts
I need to make a noise. I actually need to go, oh. Like, no. I'm laughing, but I actually do. I get overstimulated. I think.
Well, that's your release, isn't it? It's a whole lot better than screaming at the kid or...
Oh, definitely.
Flipping a table.
Yeah, not to say I haven't yelled at my kid.
Yeah.
No fucking way. But I absolutely have. But I've got to get better at it. And... I mean, can you sit back and say that your daughter knows she is fucking super loved by you?
Yeah, I think so.
I can hand on heart say that my fucking kids adore me, and I'll never ever let that change as long as I fucking live. Yeah. But I explain to Violet that I know what I'm like. I can get angry. I know. And I'm trying to bloody change that. I'm just super honest with her. Yeah. And she's fucking great. And I think they appreciate that. Yeah. I'm not just going to say, no, fucking, that's the way I am, deal with it. Yeah. I'm trying to get better. Daddy's not fucking perfect.
Yeah. I like that approach.
Yeah. Well, she's so smart. She's so fucking smart. She understands it though, Sees me and Shez talking to each other and communicating. She's seen me and Shez have some really deep chats, where I've said to Shez, like, fuck, I'm struggling. And there has been that point during Parenthood where I've just felt like a guy staying here. Yeah. I've literally just felt like get up, go to work, come home. Yeah. Because they're all sleeping in another bed, co-sleeping in another bed. Yeah. And you feel like you're boarding. You're just boarding there. Yeah. And so it can be a prick of a feeling. Yeah. And if you don't fucking talk to someone about it, you can really alienate yourself from your own family.
Yeah, definitely.
So...
That just takes patience on every level, doesn't it?
Fucking oath.
Yeah, and just remember that everything passes in time.
Oh, it does, man. Yeah.
Shit house right now, but just do what you got to do to survive.
Oh, fucking oath. Weather the storm. Sherry was saying that before. What did she fucking say? I've forgotten. I've just had a fucking mind blank. Shocking mind
Good
blank.
Podcast, Pete.
Yeah.
I can tell you've done this before.
Oh, yeah. I'll cut this out, mate. It's fucking brilliant. Nah, she did say something. Yeah, I do. I do enjoy it. Fuck. What's Rhiannon like as a mother?
That's funny. It's not something I've really had to put into words. She's patient.
Yep.
She's calm, though I know that she
feels it.
She wants to explode on the inside sometimes as well.
That's bringing me comfort.
Yeah.
How are you as a team?
I think we're a very good team.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen it when I saw you last. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
You think you fall into it well?
Parenthood.
Yeah.
I think we have.
You have a choice.
Yeah, that's right. I think we were pretty well set up. Like, we didn't even have a test dog, you know? A lot of people get a test dog, but I guess we did. Yeah, I did have a dog that we kind of both had together.
Had a go at it. Yeah.
Both had a go at the dog.
It doesn't prepare you at all.
Nah, it doesn't prepare you at all. It's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very good at sharing the load. There's a sort of uneven split has to happen over time. It was quite even in the early days. I did a lot of the nappy washing. Now I never wash nappies.
Yeah.
She does all that now.
Mm-hmm.
I do the dishes most of the time. She doesn't do the dishes very often.
And is that something that have you fallen into that, or is that
fallen into it?
Something
It was
you
never
talk about?
agreed. It was never agreed upon. It's just the way it went.
Yeah. But it works.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So we parent together quite well.
Yeah, it looks like it. Do you know, isn't it crazy, dude? Like, I look at you and Rhiannon like very calm people. I think, fuck that, no, piss that in. But then it's, well, not me being happy at you, you know, that you've gone through, that you feel that rage or whatever. I feel comfort in it. I definitely do. But, you know, it goes to show what you show on the outside. Fucking like Harry said that. Harry said, you know, do you know many people who've come from the YouTube game that are chilled out? And I would have said you.
Yeah.
And I think, would you say you're chilled out?
Yeah, pretty well.
Yeah, I think so, mostly.
Unless
level-headed?
Yeah, unless something goes outside of my control.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're admitting that you're a control freak.
Yeah, because I know I have to watch it.
Yeah.
It's part of my shadow, you know?
Interesting, man. I love that. Makes me, yeah.
Yeah, it's
your baby.
Having control over something can be good in some instances. It's good for running a business. It's good to know what's in order and what's not.
Yeah, steering the ship. Yeah,
but
that type of thing.
Being a controlling person is not good. No one likes someone that's controlling.
Nah.
And this is something I watch out for with Rhiannon a lot. I know that I tend to be a bit of a vortex. I can suck people into what I'm doing, and they will be there in my shadow because I like to have control and micromanage, and I can very easily end up with people sort of just living under me.
Interesting.
And
have you had that happen before?
I think it happened with my ex-wife.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think she sort of she fell into my life.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of just followed along behind what I was doing.
And lost her ambitions or something like that?
Lost her ambitions, and like I controlled the finances and everything. And it wasn't out of a malicious place.
Yeah.
And it never is out of a malicious place. But it's not helpful to other people. I would prefer to do something, do it myself rather than let someone have a go, and that ends up with someone just not living for themselves just because Alex has control of it, and that's just the way it is.
Interesting. So have you made changes towards that now?
I definitely control finances very differently with Rhiannon.
Yeah.
We have separate finances and we make agreements on who pays what.
Yeah, of course. Do you like it that way? Does it feel comfortable or not really? Or
yeah, definitely.
You have times? Feels a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So we both, our incomes come into our own accounts, and we chip in our own portions towards mortgage and bills and all that.
Fuck, that's great. So it sounds like you are a really good team.
Yeah, and I'm super aware that, I can be a bit of a vortex and just suck people in. And Rhiannon's a very independent person.
Yeah.
So she works 2 days a week. She could very easily not work and look after Zoe full time, and I could provide everything for the whole family. But that's not going to be good for her.
Wow, yeah, gotcha.
Because she's such an independent person.
Mm-hmm.
And she always needs to have her own life, her own career.
Yep. That would have taken a bit of adjusting, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like what?
Yeah, we don't always tell each other where we're going.
Oh wow, that's cool. All right.
Yeah, it's like she'll say, "Oh, I went out, caught up with such and such today," and
yeah, I see. Like don't know each other's plans type of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. So we
I
don't
thought you meant
always.
she just like walks past you like at dinner and goes, "All right, I'm out." Okay, bye.
Yeah, look.
See you tomorrow morning.
It used to be like that. Obviously, when we weren't parents, it just doesn't work that way when you are parents.
No. That's what I was going to say before, Alex. How Sherry said, what the fuck did we do before kids?
Yeah. God, if I could
now I feel like a scumbag.
Yeah, if I could apply the level of work ethic I have now as a father to my younger self, I'd be a fucking billionaire.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like, shit, I should have done this. I should have done this while I was not tied down by kids.
Yeah.
But you're never going to know.
No, of course not.
You can't tell yourself
fucking
that.
Dwell on it either.
Yeah. I definitely don't dwell on it, but it's just like, imagine what I could have accomplished.
Yeah.
But it doesn't eat me up.
No.
What did you find so funny in that?
No, just how you were sort of like, I was thinking about what I could be.
Oh, I faded off.
But I don't let it eat me up. Oh, shit, dude. What do you think? I might refill my beer. Would you like a beer?
I think I could probably handle a beer.
Yeah, let's do it, mate. All right, we'll be back. Oh, God. All right, guys, we're back. So, cheers, buddy. Cheers, enjoying buddy. A shelter. What do you think? What do you think of the shelter lager?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Are you a craft beer guy?
A little bit. I can't do many of the IPAs and that shit. It's
Yep.
I can do one or two maybe.
Yep.
And then I just get fucked up.
Yeah. What, heavy?
Just heavy.
Bloaty.
Yeah,
I don't like the bloaty
I get
ones.
headaches, the whole lot. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I've been off the drink a lot lately, actually.
I wanted to talk about that as well. Why is that?
I am 35 and it hurts.
Just can't do it like you used to?
Yeah. I enjoy one drink. Two is starting to push it.
Oh, interesting, man.
And I can even have two and I will wake up the next day just feeling not quite up to performance in the head.
Yeah.
My joints ache.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was just feeling like shit and it was just taking too much time out of my life. Like I was enjoying one drink and beyond that, it was, it's just too hard.
Yeah.
And then
gotcha.
of course it would turn out that my daughter was pushing through a tooth that night or something.
Yeah.
And sleeping like an absolute nightmare. And God, it hurts getting woken up when you...
I know what you mean. A few deep type of thing, to parent at that time as well.
Yeah, so I sort of just decided wasn't doing it for me anymore. And I kind of gave it up. And that's the first drink I've had in 3 months.
Yeah. God, I'm a bad influence. But I'll say it. You actually said, no, you know what? I'll have a beer with you. But I love that you did. It's almost more about just like the... Cheers, buddy.
that's
good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a stressful couple of weeks, and it's just
I've
been craving a beer all week again.
Yep.
I'm like, no, I've quit drinking. I'm not going to do it. And I even had the discussion with Rhiannon at the table. I'm like, I'm thinking I might have a beer with Pete.
Yeah.
It comes back to that thing I was saying about being too rigid. I said I wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, let's take a step back and consider why I'm drinking and how much I'm going to drink.
Yeah, exactly. This is not going to affect us. I mean, I've had 3. You're on 2.
I might not have another drink for 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
But just because I've said I've quit drinking, for what purpose? It's for my purpose. It's for my own reasons.
Yeah.
I just not like I have a problem with alcohol or
anything.
anything.
I'm not drinking to get drunk type of thing. Yeah. Oh, good.
So
I like that. I respect that. The old sore joints. I'm going to message you tomorrow and see if these two have hurt your joints tomorrow.
I better not have a third, hey?
Yeah, it'll knock you right over.
Yeah.
But do you know, this is one part I've been looking forward to talking about because there's a few factors to it. So I have been lucky enough to listen to a podcast episode that Alex has not released. Now, I wanted to talk to you about that. does podcasts do for you? Are you a podcast guy? What is, you know, what's tell me about your podcast world. How have you gotten into it? How are you enjoying dabbling in it? Where's the future in it? I'll ask one at a time. Sorry, mate.
All right. So I'll tell you what sort of podcasts I listen to start with. I don't listen to all of yours.
Yep.
Too long.
Yeah, gotcha. The big these ones.
Yeah, the big.
No, I understand that.
I'm not gonna listen to this, especially because I already know all this shit about myself. I'm generally like an hour-long podcast sort of guy.
Yeah, I found that as well. A lot of people do like that.
Yeah, there's a few. Like I texted you a few weeks ago and said, "What's your favorite episodes on your podcast?"
Yep.
And they're like 3 hours long, and I'll go and listen to it.
Yeah,
but a lot of the time, what happens is I don't have 3 hours straight to listen to something.
Yeah.
I rarely even have an hour, but I can at least pick up the remaining 15 minutes the next day.
Yeah,
so
gotcha.
if it's a 3 hour podcast, I might get through an hour and then not pick it up for 2 weeks, and I'll either forget about it, or if I do come back to it, I'm like, who the fuck is this and what are we talking about?
Start again.
Yeah, that's it. Start again. I don't know if you're able to see retention rates. You're like, why is this thing 150% retention for the first 10 minutes? It's because Alex keeps forgetting and has to come back.
No, crazy thing about the podcast world is what I've learned is that unless you show people analytics, you can make out you're doing fucking incredible when you're not. Because there's no views. You can't see views. For example, you're listening to this, but you can't actually see the views, how many people's are listening, the retention rate, all that stuff, how many people are subscribed to the channel, to the podcast. A lot of people can hide that, and I think that's the I reckon that's the draw to it. You know, I like that the numbers aren't there. If I'm honest, doesn't influence anyone. Doesn't make me seem bigger than I am unless I try to say that I am.
Yeah, it's true. You could say, "Welcome back to the Everyman Chat, sponsored by Tesla."
Yeah, exactly. No one's going to check.
No one's going to know that Tesla just gave Tesla a free plug.
Yeah, and Tesla's not going to give a fuck about little old me. Oh god! But tell me. Yeah, what type of podcasts?
I can't stay on a topic for very long or a style. So I mentioned to you, I was inspired by Van Neistat.
Yep.
Got bored of him doing the same sort of thing over and over and being preachy.
Even
Bo Miles is becoming a bit stale to me.
Interesting.
So I tire very easily if something gets too much the same.
Yes.
So I move around podcasts quite a lot, but at the moment I'm onto one that Harry Fighterfork got me onto, which
who's that?
Cool. Your mate.
Yeah.
It's called Swindled, and they go for probably an hour.
Hour seems to
2
be
hours.
Spot on, yeah.
Yeah, and they tend to be stories of corporate crime and cover-ups and government conspiracies and cover-ups.
I'll write that down.
Really
Swindled.
Really engaging little stories. Another one is This Is Actually Happening.
Yeah. Where have I heard that from?
Maybe you've listened to it.
This Is Actually Happening. No, who's the host?
God, I'm so bad with names, eh? Nah, it's not going to come to me.
Keep going.
So those are stories. There's no podcast host. There's a guy that does a little bit of like a interjection from time to time, but it is a person sitting down and telling their story.
Submit your story. Okay, I'll see. I'm on the website where it says you can submit your own, and then someone obviously...
and they just sit down and tell their story. So one was a guy that went on a quick walk up top of a mountain with his mate. This is one of my favourite recent ones. Went off track to take a shortcut because it was starting to get dark. Went up the cliff, sort of started getting harder and harder to climb. It was getting too dark. They were nearly at the top, and then his mate fell in the dark, and his mate fell and tumbled down the bottom. And then it was too dark for the bloke to move, and he's stuck on a rock about the size of a horse. So it was like he's sitting on a horseback, and he's sitting on this rock all night, no contact with the outside world, not sure if his mate's dead or not. Trying to stay upright, just the wind trying to blow him off this rock on a cliff. He's got nothing with him, and he's just told this story about how he survived up there. the night. Goes for about an hour.
What draws you to that type storytelling, right?
Storytelling, yeah. Storytelling and people.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So what about silly podcasts? I'm guessing you're not really into that type of stuff. Like, let's say, for example, Alpha Blokes. Have you heard of?
I've heard the name, never listened to them.
Got you.
Yeah. I like my podcasts to have a story and a lot of direction.
Yep.
I'll listen to the Tim Ferriss show.
Yep. You've told me about. Yep.
Yeah, he talks to some pretty big name guests, but it depends who's on and what the topic is.
Yeah, I understand that as well.
I like to have a very fixed topic.
Yeah,
okay. To a podcast.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be that 1 hour seems to be a suitable amount, but I like, if this here, I'll put this up because I think to myself, hey, if you want to listen to this person or, whether it be Alex or Harry from Fighter Fork or some of my best mates in the crew, I find some of those guys have more popular videos. You know what I mean? Like some people just want to have a listen. So I just want to put the content there for them. Yeah. I know the views will for this whole podcast, the views will never ever amount because no one watches me for a podcast.
Yeah.
That's fucked. But I'm going to stick to it, dude, because I enjoy this. I want to pivot. And it's going to kill me. I don't care. Yeah. I enjoy it, dude.
Yeah, and it's helping people. You just, even if it's not on Joe Rogan's scale, like it's relatable and it's helping people you probably never really hear from. No, you might hear the odd person saying, "Oh shit, I never knew other people felt that way." But you might see that from 1 in 10, 1 in 20 people that actually got something from it. Yeah. You might only hear one of them comment.
No.
But that's got to be worth it.
Yeah, and it absolutely is. The emails are great, getting thousands.
Yeah, that's the way, yeah.
No, not at all. No, maybe like one.
But I think...
one per episode.
That's pretty good. That's more than I'm getting.
Hey, you ain't back properly, though.
That's true.
But come on, man. So that... I'm glad you told me what ones you listen to because it sort of fits into... sort of gives me a good idea of what's behind yours. The whole theme of you want to tell a great story. Yeah. Now I've listened to the first episode. I fucking loved it. I truly did.
Thanks, mate.
And talking about how you're talking before about like envious and jealousy and stuff like that. I do feel that when I listen to that podcast because it's so well produced. I'm probably not jealousy, but I feel envy. I'm like, fuck, man, I want to put something like that together. You've always been like in that position for me. So, but it's like, I want the best for you. Yeah. But it's like, fuck, I also want to be like that. I want that type of skill.
That. All of us feel that.
Yeah. And yeah, the jealousy thing, I do understand. Anyway, I'm digressing here, but yeah. So come on, tell us about the style of your podcast. It's do you have a proper name for it yet?
It will be called Road Stories.
Road Stories, fucking brilliant. Like by Alex Garner or something, or no, just Road Stories.
Just Road Stories.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So can you tell us about? Are you able to divulge the first episode, the details on it? Because sorry to keep talking over you, but the expectation I got from it, the first episode, I did not have a clue who this bloke was or the story behind it. I listened to it as a neutral listener. And it gripped me, dude. It got me. It was fucking awesome. So,
the original idea behind it was to tell some stories for people that might be on the road. I mean, they equally can be listened to if you're working in your backyard or you're on your drive to work. But if you're out on the road in your truck, on the highway, in your 4B, you will, if you listen to this podcast, you'll be able to drive past some locations and go, fucking hell, this is... I have a picture in my head of this place from that event that happened. Yeah. There's that roadhouse that guy set off from all those years ago. Like, you'll never look at the Overlander Roadhouse the same again.
No. Oh, fuck. That holds good memories for me too, On the way to Exmouth. But yeah, go on.
It's not Overlander, sorry. Sandfire in the Boguki story.
Yeah.
So that was my... Yeah. You'll know more about the places and the people, the stories you're travelling past.
Yeah, interesting.
And so from there, I picked up a book from the op shop. I go to the op shop and I just look for weird titles to jump out at me. And this was just like 100 things that happened in Australia weird stories across Australia, and I start picking out these titles. That's interesting. Oh, I didn't know that. Huh, that's an interesting story about where galvanized iron started. Wait, I didn't know that there was an invasion of Australia by a green monster called a cactus.
Okay. Fuck, I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
No.
What do you call it? The cane toads?
Oh, the cane toads, yeah.
They're
The
not
cactus
green
is
anyway,
similar, but they conquered the cactus. They haven't done the cane toad.
Mm.
Yeah, so I thought I might sit in my car and tell them on video.
As you're driving or something like that?
Yeah. So Jake and I sort of did a pilot once.
Fuck, dude, really?
But it was... Look, Jake could probably pull it off now because he's pretty good with audio. He's got all the good mics and that sort of thing. The car was too noisy. It was horrible. And so it got shelved. I probably thought about it 5 years ago.
Shit, really?
Yeah, and then I thought, I might try it as a podcast. And the idea was to just produce it more like an audio book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
because there are sound effects in certain spots, and it really does paint a picture. It's fucking beautiful, dude. Like, honestly, should be so proud of that.
Yeah.
Will when can you give us a timeline at all, or not really?
Not really.
Nah.
So I sat down to write the first episode. The first one I wrote was the cactus, and it took me 20 hours to research and write one episode. Then I wrote the Baguki Lost in the Desert episode. That was about the same, plus 2 hours to record and 5 hours to edit for a 40-minute episode, I think. And so once I got past those two, I thought, I can't do this casually. It's not gonna take off. I'm not going to be able to produce anything fast enough.
Yeah.
So I need to write, record, and produce 10 episodes, so as I can go for a hard launch with it. So you'll get like a season 1, 10 episodes. I'll do supporting content to go on Instagram and Facebook, possibly YouTube Shorts, something like that, to try and pull in an audience for it.
What would that entail? You going to shoot like shooting a reel at maybe the Roadhouse?
I think it will be green screen.
Awesome. Yeah, wicked, mate.
Because there'll be lots of them.
Yep.
Like probably 5 a week or something, and just absolutely hammer it with short stories, like part 1, part 2, part 3. Did you know this? Did you know that? Just lots of really short things to drive traffic to the podcast. And then at the end of 10 episodes, I look at what I've got. I'll probably start a Patreon. Patreon goes pretty well for podcasts.
Yeah.
To try and get a little bit of money trickling in through that. And then I'll take my numbers around to get sponsorship. So this is how season 1 went. This is the topics we have planned for season 2. This is your cost for an ad spot like this.
Yeah.
Because
what does that involve, Alex? Can you? So is just paying for ad space? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I would say so.
15-second, 30-second ad.
Yeah, I probably
because I want to do that. Yeah,
you could do naming rights for the show, which should attract a pretty good profit.
Interesting,
but I wouldn't want to call it the Cadbury
Castrol
Road
Stories
or something. So I don't think I'd go down that.
Maggie Road Stories. The shit we could come up with, eh?
Rhodes, you might not get this episode done in 40 minutes, but Maggie's 2-minute noodles.
Oh, fucking hell, dude. Slazenger Road Stories.
What's the most obscure brand you can think of here?
Fisher and Paykel. Oh, fuck, dude. That's brilliant.
The Dulux Road Stories podcast. Listen to us while you watch your paint dry.
Keep an eye on those white lines. If you want them brighter, use Dulux Superguard. Oh, fuck, dude. That's brilliant. Oh, man. Do you enjoy doing the podcast? Like, did you enjoy that 40 or 30 hours that you spent? Like,
I
honestly?
love it.
Oh, good.
I get so deep into it, and I'll go off on a tiny tangent, and I'll spend 3 hours trying to get one sentence perfect sometimes, because it's like one of them is 2 detectives in 1926 were found burned and chopped up, tossed down a mine shaft.
See, that sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah. And I got all, you can read the story on Google, but not in a format that would suit the podcast. It's all too brief. You need a lot of words to make a podcast episode. Like that Baguki story, that was 10 pages, 5,500 words. And
Fuck. It's like writing an essay for every single episode.
yeah, it's full on. And
I'm trying to escape that. Trying to get away from essay.
yeah, high school, man, it's always going to follow you.
Yeah, I know, dude. The mistakes I made.
But I get so deep into it. Like, I use Trove a lot. So Trove will allow you to go and look at almost every newspaper ever back to the mid-1850s.
Shit.
And so you can start with your story and go, okay, William Coulter, pop that in there, set the thing for 1926, shows you 3,000 responses for William Coulter, and you're like, okay, let's narrow it down to this month.
And you enjoy doing the research as well?
Yeah, and that's where I'll read through there, and you've read the story, oh, this guy murdered this guy in this circumstance, and then I just obsess over a detail like, holy shit, this name here, he was busted for this at this time, this guy was busted for this at this time, they had to have been in prison at the same time. That's probably how they met each other and ended up becoming accomplices in the next crime.
Oh,
and that was written nowhere except that I've put this together from 2 newspaper articles. I'm sure the police put it together at the time, but...
Fuck.
And I just obsess over like little details like that.
But what if that wasn't true? Or have you found out that that is true?
Well, everything's open to some speculation.
Yeah.
And I'll state that in the words around it. It's like... Now, it didn't say in any police reports at the time, but given this guy was charged at this time and they were both in prison from this date, they very well could have met.
It could be said, yeah. I see. Fuck, how good's that voice, for a podcast? Think about that. What I wanted to ask you, so what's the difference between putting together a piece like the doco or a piece like the detailed podcast there? I wanted to talk difference between video and audio. Video format and audio.
Well, the podcast can be done entirely from 2 rooms at my house.
Yeah.
The video I actually have to go out for, so...
Would you merge the 2, dude? Would you merge your channel with the doco and then also with the podcast somehow?
Yeah, for sure.
There's more content?
I would. I've thought about this. In doing the podcast, I'm probably going to uncover research and interesting stories that'll lend well to a video.
It works well. Fucking oath it does. I like that.
But I don't think I would video me recording it. So I wouldn't do like a sitting talking to camera like we're doing here. Yeah,
it'd be audio only, and then a video dedicated to the like the piece that you did.
Yeah, it would.
No, not a video recorded podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had thought about that, but just getting the supporting footage would be too much.
Yeah, I understand.
So it would be more like, that was a really good podcast episode. I think that will fly well as a video if we go here, 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 and here, discard this piece of information.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's what we can pull this together as a really cool video story that goes for 15 minutes.
That's it. And at least your the research is done already.
Yeah.
So you're already picturing shots and shit like that. That's what I love about this. Like, not as though I plan shots or whatever. To a certain extent, you do. You fantasize shots that you want to shoot. Like, I'd love to do a cooking segment while the guys are fishing in the background, the sun's setting, and everything looks great. Never works out like that. No. Fuck no. But I love the actual practice of, hey, let's get another camera over here. Like, something like that. Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's nice when you get a nice shot. That's all I'm trying to say here. Yeah. Nothing 100%. Hectic, but I don't think you'll ever lose that, will you? No, I think I'll always do video stories like this. I think if I'm ever to make a quid in this sort of industry, I think the podcast's the best shot at it. Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't think I'm going to make money off what I've just put on YouTube anytime soon. I think if I'm going to make money as a result of that, it's going to be an offshoot. Yeah, like, gotcha. Such and such saw it, thought that was really cool, said, can you come on, join me on this project, which I've got this budget for. Yeah, wicked. So it might lead to actual documentary jobs or something down the track. But I can't see
I can't see that being a money earner in a hurry.
Yeah, gotcha. But the poddy you can.
The podcast, yeah. The podcast is I do 10 episodes if I can get sponsorship for it, and I'll do the numbers and see how much I need to pay a researcher and writer to do a second season.
Yep.
And if I can achieve that number, then I'll continue with a season 2.
Random question about the researcher, right? Do you have like a number in you? It obviously wouldn't be a salary, right? At that beginning.
No.
It'd be like how have you priced that up?
So I haven't priced that up yet.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm focusing on getting the episodes out of the way.
Yeah, good shit.
Yeah.
So are you working on more now, are you?
Yeah. I'm working on more.
Fucking brilliant, man. So the cactus one, have you done that?
I have only recorded the Robert Baguki one.
Yeah.
I have written...
What a beautiful first fucking episode, dude.
Yeah, it was a good one. That's my favourite so far.
Yeah. And it wasn't just the story itself, it was the way that you spoke about it, and I actually did build a picture in my head. I really did, how he fucking went off the trail for some reason. What the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
You know, and all the crews that failed getting in there, and how the TV crew fucking... Well, I better not tell the story, but...
Yeah.
How they
if anyone searches the name, they'll see the story, but...
No, it's said different. It's something. There's something different that you need to check that out.
Yeah, you can read the story, but it's filling in the picture.
Yeah.
So I will even go like... one is written out Kalgoorlie way.
Yep.
And we're talking about how much gold came out of Kalgoorlie.
Oh, I do remember. You've told me a lot of it. And then, what is it? How many's accounted for? Is that what you're saying?
It's
you said something to me.
Just talking about the sheer amount of gold that they're sending out on a fortnightly basis. Like...
so is that even now or back in the day?
Back in the day.
Yeah.
So we're out in Kalgoorlie, and to understand how much power gold holds out here, to understand how rich this golden mile is, this newspaper clipping from 1889 reports on the fortnightly train that has taken the gold back to Perth. And the fortnightly report put X amount of ounces on that train. That is this many kilos, and they valued that at this many pounds.
Yeah, gotcha.
120 million Australian dollars worth of gold on that train for a fortnight. $120 million of gold pulled out of the Golden Mile in a fortnight.
Fucking hell. Yeah, wicked. Okay.
And so you don't read that in the main story that you'll find all about the place, but
I'll
fill in those little details so people go, holy shit, this place is a big deal. You can see why this madness was going on. Like, that's a crazy...
The rush, yeah.
Goldfields madness.
Yeah, wow.
The shit they did out there for gold.
Jesus. So, can you ever see yourself... So, are you aiming more to do, like... Are you going to do very large-scale events, like as in well-known cases at all? Or are we talking shit that people might not know about?
So far, it's all just...
Baguki's pretty public, isn't it?
Yeah, he's pretty public.
I didn't know about him, I'll be honest.
It's long forgotten.
Yeah.
Probably more the smaller stuff.
Yeah, beautiful.
Eucla, how rabbits moved to town.
Go on. Can you give me a little bit of backstory there?
I haven't found enough. This is just an idea, this one. I haven't found enough to make a podcast episode out of. But the town of Eucla, the old telegraph station down there was a whole town down there, but the rabbit plague caused Eucla to have to be moved.
Shit.
So rabbits came through in such a flurry that they ate all the vegetation, and that caused the sand dunes to move and literally swallow the town faster than they could remove the sand. So they had to abandon Eucla to the rabbits and move it up onto the ridge.
Jesus Christ. See, I like stories like that.
Yeah.
But again, you know, it's all about the person who's telling the story. Do you know what I mean? You that first one got me. It hooked me. Like, you told that in a beautiful way. And especially it takes something different to hook someone, to hold someone for something that they don't know about as well.
Yeah.
Something that they're not familiar about. It's like you were talking before, like, who the fuck's that person? I don't even know them.
Yeah.
But
it's so much easier on a podcast as well, which is something else I like.
Because it's only one sensory thing that you're listening. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Well, so many people are doing something else. If you're looking at your phone, you next swipe away to the next interesting thing.
Yeah.
If you've got a podcast on, your phone's maybe on the other side of the room or in your thing on your dash, and you've got to unlock your phone to try and change it. People will listen through ads. It's easy to tolerate an ad on a podcast.
Fuck, I love that you said that, because I don't mind that. In the ads on YouTube, a little bit of, especially spoken ones and stuff where you're like, oh, you're putting your name to that. But on podcasts, I don't care. No. It can be a fucking ad about lawn fertilizer. I couldn't give a shit. Because you can skip through them anyway on Spotify. And I love that. Yeah. That's where I'm like, my favourite creator on a podcast, go ahead. Have as many as you want. It won't affect me,
They're much less intrusive. And you can tell...
They are. That's it, man.
Yeah, you can tell these longer stories and have these longer... Like, I don't know how many are watching your video on YouTube, but it'd be a pretty small number compared to how many listen, wouldn't it? Yeah. Unless they've got YouTube playing, but they're listening in the background, but...
Yeah, it's probably not like much bigger. So it's probably, when I say much, it's like double, but that's not a hectic amount, if you know what I mean. There might be 1,500, 2,000 watches on YouTube, like over like a month or two, but then the listens are more, definitely, because you're getting that traffic coming in as well. I'm so new to all this podcast stuff. I don't know what to do. Like, do you know what's great about it? It's sort of untainted in a way. There's no thumbnails to fucking suck you in with arseholes and like actual arseholes, like bikinis and all that bullshit. This here, you've just got
enough hairy ones on there for me.
No, there isn't. All sacks. No, exactly. We'll get there, mate. No, I like that though. Have a listen. If you like it, you fucking like it. That's it. You make up your mind in one episode. Yeah. Whereas I don't have to sell sex on there or anything like that. Yeah. It's good. Yeah. I like it. It's sort of pure at the moment.
And you got time you're in someone's ear. They're able to do another task. They're not ready to be distracted. Man. You can draw out your story a little bit more. You can go into some detail. You can, not like the train carriages where I cut and cut and cut to keep it short. You did that beautifully. Keep the attention span going. Yeah. You don't have to think about that as much with a podcast.
Nah. Because, I reckon the reason I turned on to podcasts is because I got sick of fucking radio. Got so sick of it. I got over listening to music. Yeah. There's that point in your trip where you're like, oh, this music's fucking... Yeah. I'm over any type of music. Podcasts are beautiful for that. Yeah. And, man, all like 90% of the time, I'll listen to podcasts while I'm doing yard work. Mowing, fucking on it goes. Yeah, and it's so... I love it, man. It's like a ritual for me. Every Saturday morning, I'll have a listen to go cut the hedges or some bullshit like that. It's
working
nice,
on
man.
The car, working in the yard, even when I'm doing product photos or something.
The
attention, just music on.
So even while you're taking product photos, you can have a podcast.
Yeah, podcasting.
Don't need. Yeah, okay, interesting. Fuck. Because I've actually I mentioned this. Patreons will know, but I've put a video on there of the day I come out with you for that Uniden product shoot, and it was so fucking clever, guys. I mean, I don't know if you're watching this or not, but I remember you saying, there's this product missing, there's this one missing, but just hold this one up and I can impose it in on the photo. And fuck, man, I thought it was brilliant. You know, my favourite part of that day was sculling a fucking Matzo's at the end. I was that dry.
Yeah, that was a warm day. It took a while, hey.
It was a good morning, though.
It was, it was a nice morning. And if you went with me, I would probably have a podcast in and just...
Yeah, okay,
just pick away at it like that.
What a spot, man.
Yeah.
What a fucking spot to work. Yeah.
Then again, I might have just enjoyed the serenity of it.
And not worked.
Yeah.
Just fuck your photos.
Yeah, just throw the unit and stuff in a pile on the ground, sit there and have beers. Get up
blur the background and you're good.
Just get my phone. There you go, Uniden.
And they'd probably be happy with it. That's a fucking weird thing. Oh, God. So, mate, we're slowly... Well, I always say this, and then it goes on for another half an hour, but we're slowly starting to wind up. Now, you know what questions are coming, because I've had to tell you, because it's very hard to do these ones on the spot.
Yeah.
hopefully you might have been subconsciously thinking about it.
Oh, well, I completely forgot about him, eh?
Oh, okay.
My memory's a bit
No, that's
going
okay.
sometimes.
That's
so,
all right.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited. I'll remember them as soon as you say them.
All right. Well, I'll start with this one. So tell me something about you that not many people know. We've been through a lot tonight. It's a terrible question, actually, if you think about it.
Yeah, people know a lot they didn't know.
I know. That's what I mean. Okay, fuck that one. No, I'm going to fucking scrap that one for now. What's the best bit of advice you've been given, do you think? Or what's a memorable bit of advice that you've been given that you still use today that you might have been told a long time ago?
There's one that it might not be the best piece of advice, but it's always stuck in my head. And it's always been a little bit of a laugh, but it's always true. A TAFE lecturer, when I did photography in 2010, Mark Dickinson, he was my favourite. Fake it till you make it.
Interesting. Yeah. In what context would you?
In the context of...
Did you apply that?
If someone asks you if you can do something, yeah, for sure I can do that.
Yeah, nice.
And you just work it out as you go.
Fuck, Alex. Off the back of that, I wanted to tell you something because this is something you might relate to a little bit, right? So you see them lights down there, right? Those bags you like, yeah. So I did my first. So Earth Track come up to me and sort of said, "Oh, look, would you be interested in shooting some product, like some, what do you call it, promotional material?" Like a Facebook reel or an Instagram reel or something for it. And I said, nah, look, I'll have a go. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Not in my wheelhouse. This might be faking it till you make it, but I thought, no, fuck it. I've got the lav mics. I'll have a go at it, man. So anyway, I did. And it was so nerve-wracking. You're doing it for someone else's product and you're trying to talk for them. They said, oh, look, we want it in your style. But it's like, no, my style would be like, yeah. Do you know how it is? But it's like...
You instantly felt like you had to be more formal and professional.
Yep.
Yeah, relate to that.
And I literally was trying to say this line. It went like... I'll probably say it perfect now. Whether you want to shine some light on that steak that you're burning on the fire, I'm fucking it up now. But I said that I think maybe about 25 to 30 times I couldn't get it right.
Perfect.
Yeah, but it's amazing when you said, fake it till you make it. Don't like it. It's almost like a thing. Don't close doors on yourself.
Yeah.
Like fucking try and be open to things and have a go at things. Yeah. It was great. It was lucky that they allowed me to do it because I said to them, look, let me have a go at it first. Yeah. See how we go.
Perfect.
So
that's it. That's a little bit of a
story behind that.
That's perfectly how it's applied. That's like similar story to how I got where I am today.
Backing yourself a little bit.
Just,
I can do that.
I used to just write the scripts for the videos.
Yep.
And it one day hit a point where the script was a tricky one to film. It was to do with like engine rebuilding tools. We don't know if the production team doesn't really know how to handle this one. And do you think you can make up some instructions? I'm like, I'll just have a crack at filming it if you want. And so, I filmed this tool and they liked it. And on we went. That's how I ended up filming product videos.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, which is now my living. Just from faking it till I make it. I've never filmed a product video in my life. I'll get some lights and I'll press the record button and see what happens.
So, sorry. So, did you say that you tagged them in the product? How did you actually get that initial engagement with them?
So the initial engagement was through Intense. As I said,
gotcha.
like that opened all my doors.
Yeah.
Just putting videos up there and saying yes to things. I bought a lantern from a super cheap store. I reviewed it on my blog. And then I posted it on Supercheap's Facebook page or something. And then they reached out and said, hey, that's really cool. We're actually starting up a blog on our website. Can you write some blog posts? Yeah, sick. I think it was a free product deal. We'll give you 10 free products if you review each one.
Yeah.
Just to go on our website. So I did that. And once that was over, actually, we're looking for a new script writer and you seem to have some pretty good technical ability and we don't mind your writing style. Can you write scripts? Yeah, sure. Started writing scripts.
Far out.
And then after doing that for a year or something, it ended up at that video point.
What came behind the script writing though? How did you learn that? Like, did you Google how did you actually write your first script?
I think they gave me 3 example scripts from what they'd been using.
Gotcha. Yep.
These days, you'd probably just go, hey, ChatGPT, analyze the structure of these scripts.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Write these products in the same. So I just had to be ChatGPT, you know.
Interesting.
Had to read them and go, yeah, all right, that's kind of the tone and the pacing, and try and make it read and sound about the same, but for a different product.
Yeah,
and carry
right.
on like that.
Fuck.
Just keep saying yes, man.
Yeah.
And the worst that happens is say, hey, I couldn't pull it off. Sorry, I won't charge you for that.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, of course. Don't, instead of turning in a product that you're not happy with.
That's right.
Yeah, gotcha. This one I've just come off the cuff, right? I was going to say advice you could give, but I want to know something else. What's the biggest regret you have with Intense? And what's your favourite part of it all? You know, what was your favourite part? What was the best parts of Intense? And what was the part that you regret?
The best parts.
Drop a heavy one on you at the end. Hey,
yeah.
Right. Never let them know your next move.
Yeah. We'll start with the best parts because that's pretty easy.
Yep.
It forced me to get out there.
Yep.
And have adventures. So like, it was a blessing and a curse. Like, oh shit, I need to go somewhere interesting for a video.
Mm-hmm.
But I was forced to have adventures and discover new stuff.
Yep.
Making all the friends I made. Regrets. You might have to cut some silence here.
No, go ahead. All good, mate. Can't be worse than my mind, Blake. Fucking hell, I never thought I'd stump you.
Yeah.
Those other questions were decoys.
The regrets. It's really hard to say because I'm so happy with where I am now.
Yeah.
The regrets would be centered probably around just regretting that certain things had to happen the way they did. So when I split from my ex-wife, I decided to keep the house, and that cost me a lot of money. I had to sell a car to afford it. I had to sell the old white Patrol I had.
Yeah, I see.
So, like, I don't regret it. I could never say I truly regretted it in any moment, but I could have taken Intense enormous. I could have been sort of quite far along doing it for a full-time living if I hadn't burdened myself with a house. If we'd sold the house together and I'd taken my cash and split in the Patrol.
What would you have done? Can I ask? What was the alternate route?
There never really was an alternate route because at the time I think I was 26 and I felt old. It's funny, funny saying it. But at 26, I felt old. I'm like, shit, I had everything. I had like a marriage and a house, and now what am I going to sell the house and go back and live with my parents and take a step back in everything I've gained in life? So at the time, I was not in the mindset to have an alternative. It was like, keep the house so as I don't lose everything I've worked for.
Yeah, of course.
In hindsight, that's not how I view life anymore, you know? Like, it would have been a good move to sell the house and take off in the Patrol, and I could have just lived on the road, just made these videos full time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the financial pressure of keeping the house, so having to sell the good car, that car got views. The Subaru L Series I had to buy as its replacement did not. Then I had to work double hard because I was in a business partnership with my ex. We had to dissolve the partnership and I had to take a new ABN, which meant the bank would not look at any income under my ABN to purchase this house with. So I had to work another job full time as well as what I was already doing under my ABN to prove to the bank I could afford it.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it's not a regret.
No, I was going to say it's unfortunate. It's
what I chose at the time, and ultimately, if I hadn't taken that route, Intense would probably still be kicking. I would be doing quite well out of it. I'd probably be very commercial.
Would you be happy?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a hard one, eh?
Yeah, that's definitely not something that can be quantified. I know a lot of the people watching probably wouldn't be happy because I would be big and commercial.
Yeah, gotcha.
And it would definitely not be the same animal it was when I wrapped it up.
So when you say big and commercial, why would it have to go that way? Or to make a living, does it have to go that way?
Yeah. It has to. Yeah.
I've heard that in a few places now, and I hate it. I hate the thought of it. That's why this will remain my side gig.
Yeah, from what I can see, there's a lot of four-wheel drivers and campers in Australia, but the four-wheel driving box of people is not really big enough to support it without that commercial
sponsorship and all that. Yeah. Wow.
You can't go full Mr. Beast on it and make your living on YouTube ad revenue because there's just not enough viewers for it.
Fuck no. No, there absolutely isn't. Pittance. It's a fucking pittance, it really is. Yeah. It's all side stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so interesting. Things could have gone so many ways, but it's pretty hard to say I have any regrets.
Yeah. Yeah, especially for where you are now, you know?
Yeah, because I am where I am.
Fucking hell. Yes. Wow. That was pretty fucking powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, you've left me a bit speechless there. How I've always looked at you like a guiding like a guiding light in a way, but then you sort of just were so blunt with me then. Like, it's like, why commercial? And you're like, because it has to be like that. Because it has to be like that if you want to do it full time.
Yeah. There comes a point, right? Like, there's a tipping point. You're either having fun with it, and it's a bit of a hobby, and you're making a bit of money, but you're not making a living off it. Mm-hmm. You quit your day job, and you hit that tipping point. Money has to become one of the priorities.
Yeah. And it makes sense, man. Fuck, I do know a few people around me now who it is sort of their full-time gig. And fuck, man, I can't hate, they've got to make that money, they got families to support. I understand, I really do. Yeah. And I don't think there'll ever be that tipping point for me, dude. I really don't think there will, because I'm really happy that it's a side gig. Like, it's a nice earning side gig for me. That's good enough. That's fucking... Because I enjoy bricklaying. I still enjoy bricklaying.
Yeah.
Keeps me really fit,
And you just... yeah. Look at you, got this one massive ab, man. Wish I had an ab like that.
I call it my spud.
You got this beautiful patina on your face there.
Fuck, dude, I saw this meme the other day. It was like, my wife says she looks like a potato. And this is the way I look at potato. It's like these beautiful roast potatoes and fucking mashed potato with chives on them. I'm like, that's me. That's me. Yeah. I'm a potato.
Yeah, he's like, I want to eat her up.
Yeah. Now we're getting dirty. Mate, any closing thoughts? Anything you want to, anything that you haven't disclosed tonight, or anything you haven't mentioned that, is coming up that I missed? What are we looking out for? Any other, have you got any content that you're going to be putting out soon as far as podcasts or videos go?
I might have mentioned it in the beginning, but I'll do a Q&A.
Oh, yeah, shortly. You did. Yep, beautiful. Yep.
About that recent video, and ask people for some ideas on a new one to do as well.
Excellent, good. And there's no time limit on that video? Is it more just all Q&A? You're not worried about retention or anything for this one? Yeah,
that's it. There's a handful of people that are going to watch a Q&A.
I love Q&As. I fucking really do.
Yeah.
Ah, good shit, man.
You're not doing that for retention or anything.
Nah, not Q&A.
You're doing that for the people that are dedicated.
Yeah, exactly.
That are actually interested in knowing.
Yep.
And hopefully they'll have some ideas for me to make some films. I'd like to be able to, chase stories around the country a little bit. If I ever was able to make enough money, I'd do it. But until then, I'm stuck in WA chasing stories about abandoned train garages. Dulux.
So, what about socials? Where can we find you? So it's Alex Garner now.
Yep, Alex Garner.
On Instagram.
I'm on Instagram. I'm not on there like I used to be. I don't have notifications on it.
Yeah.
Probably if you want to shoot me an email, it would be alex@intenseproductions.com.au, and intense is spelled the usual spelling, INTENSE, not the pun way of the old channel.
Oh shit! Glad you made that clear. Will there be a podcast page or anything like that, or one
There will be, yeah.
Awesome.
So once I have got all these episodes ready to go, I'll create separate pages for that sort of thing.
And you'll come on the podcast again. You'll come on mine again.
Talk podcasts on podcasts.
Yeah, that's it. The next episode I want to shoot out in bush. And I also wanted to see, I'll speak to you about this off camera. I have this idea where I'd love to get you along and just on an overnighter, just shooting the shit, lav mics on, cooking shit together and just talking shit.
Yeah.
Calling each other DCs.
Yeah.
Man, let me just finish off by saying thank you for coming on, man. I'm so proud of like how you fucking, especially after hearing that tonight, proud of how you smashed through all this shit that's happened to you.
Thanks, man.
And I appreciate your honesty tonight. Thank you for being a fucking mentor to me and giving me the time of day back in the day. I'm glad because it's blossomed into something fucking awesome, man. So
yeah, I'm glad you can say that about yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I absolutely. I'm saying it about you. Just how you always gave me the fucking time, man. I appreciate
you're a top
it.
bloke. I think everybody deserves the time.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, my man.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to say?
Thanks for having me. Love you.
I love you. Come here, mate. G'day, Rick. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you.